The barber shop behind me is the home of my biological mother, who abandoned my younger sister and me years ago to remarry. While my sister and I were going through our father's belongings, we found this photo of our mother. My sister and I followed the address on the photo to come here. It's to fulfill my sister's wish of seeing our mother, right, sister? In a moment, we're just going to take a look. Don't say much when you see her. You. Ah.
Who? My sister. Come sit down, miss. Auntie, your shop is decorated quite retro. How long have you been open? Oh, it's been many years. Many years? How's business? Business is average. In the countryside, there are mostly elderly people left. So business isn't great. Let me plug this in.
Okay.
How should I cut it?
Auntie, could you just trim the sides for me, and for the top, you don't look like you're from around here. Where are you from? I'm not local. It's quite hot here. My sister and I came from out of town, and then I saw this barber shop. So I thought, since the weather's hot, I'd get a haircut.
Where are you from?
We came from Henan.
Oh, that's quite far.
Yeah.
Are you here for tourism or to work?
Not for tourism. I came here to work with my sister.
Oh.
You're working?
Working. You working is one thing, but your sister looks a bit young to be working.
No, my sister is still in school. I'm the one working, so I've just been bringing her along.
Oh. Taking her out at such a young age. Does your family worry?
There are only the two of us left in my family.
My father passed away early. After he passed, I dropped out of school to support my sister's education. Back then, we were young, so I worked while putting her through school. I didn't know much, so she received very little care and companionship. She grew up slowly without complaining to me. It wasn't until I returned to the village that people told me she was being bullied at school. They even gave her nicknames, which caused her to become very insecure. So, I feel very guilty. Even if I have to suffer more or work harder, I have to keep her by my side. Otherwise, I wouldn't feel safe leaving her home alone.
And what about your mother?
My mother remarried.
That's the situation.
Yes. As for me, I still have some impression of my mother. My little sister, my mom left right after a fight when she was very young. Actually, I was a bit better off. After all, I'm a boy, and I went out early too, so I might be a bit more mature. As for my sister, sometimes when she sees other parents helping their kids with things, she always asks me, "Brother, where did mom go?" I just don't know how to tell my sister. And when I see others reuniting, you are a very good, hard-working brother. Your mom surely has her own reasons. Please, don't be like this. It seems like do you hold a bit of resentment toward your mom? Me?
Huh? Do you have resentment toward your mom?
I definitely do, don't I? Do you know? When I left, my sister was only 10 years old. At that time, Even cooking was a problem for her. But she knew I had to work, and she told me, "Go ahead, I'll take care of myself at home." I didn't really look after her then, I just left. Although it was quite tough for me out there. But whenever I think about leaving her at home so young, I feel terrible. Seeing kids her age with their moms, when she keeps asking me, I don't know how to answer, and during school meetings, I never know what to say. I know you've suffered a lot, and it's very unfair, but your mom's situation might not be what you think. Who doesn't miss their own children, right?
It's been over a decade, and she hasn't come back to visit once. I am a divorced woman, too. I also have a son and a daughter. They are about your age, and I miss them so much. But the world of adults isn't like what you imagine. It's not as simple as coming and going as you please. So, thinking and saying things like that, I believe your mom has her own hardships too. You know, one time my sister had a fever. It was just 300 yuan. My boss wouldn't pay me. Do you know what I did? I couldn't find anyone to help me. She did call though. Do you know how she lived through that? She has her own. Adults must have the difficulties of an adult. Sometimes I also want to see my son and daughter. Do you know how hard it is for me? It's just that some things aren't the way we imagine them to be. And it's not as simple as you think it is. Sometimes I also want to bring my son and daughter over to live with me. I also want to say, I run a small shop now and have the ability to raise them, but things just aren't that simple. With my family situation here, some things aren't up to me to decide as I please, so I can understand your mom. Whatever people say about her, I believe she might have her own hardships. So when I see you like this, I wonder if my son thinks of me the same way. And if he complains about me like this too. I haven't seen him for many years. Did you go look for them? Were they not there? I went to look for them. At the place where we used to work and live, because his grandparents were there when I left. We just weren't living together. When I went there, people told me they had all returned to their hometown. They had been gone for years. I asked many friends and public contacts to help me find them, but I couldn't find them, and I didn't get any news. I couldn't stay there forever looking for them. I have a young daughter here who still needs to go to school, so I came back. So, hearing you talk like this, I also feel quite heartbroken. I haven't seen or taken care of them for many years either, but there's nothing I can do. Every family has its own issues, and I just wasn't strong enough, so I couldn't bring them to me. Yes. Auntie, just fixing it up to this point is enough for me. So, your mom has her own difficulties, don't hold a grudge against them. Seeing you speak like this today, I wonder if my son feels the same. I often go to orphanages and places like that to do volunteer work, hoping to build up more merit for them. Hoping they suffer a little less. Working away from home. It's not easy. Take good care of yourself and your younger sister. Don't resent your mom has her own hardships. Whenever you run into any trouble, just come to Auntie's place. Okay?
Actually, so many years have passed now. Maybe your child just doesn't know. Like you said, everyone has their own hidden troubles. He might not understand now, but he might gradually understand later on. Well, we have some things to attend to, so I'll be heading off now.
For your sister, may I give you both a hug? I hope you feel loved, and I hope you are happy. Don't be sad. Like you said, leave it to time. Next time.
You take good care of yourself too.
It's been too little. Take good care of your sister. Once you get home, no matter what time it is, dinner will be warm, passing through a mother's gaze into these small, beautiful moments.